Hello. Welcome back. Today is a weird one. I've tried to make this video. Apparently, 3 is my lucky number. Anytime I try to make a YouTube video of late, something happens like unsalvageable on the first and second attempts to where I can't use the footage. This time I was trying to use my XT5 and my XH2S, and I forgot both times somehow that I have been using my XT5 with my M-mount glass, so in manual focus only, so I forgot to switch it back to autofocus. So I was out of focus the entire time, and I thought it'd be a cool idea to use that as my A-cam for a while. This is the XH2S. We're back. Hopefully the autofocus is working. I'm outside. You can hear the birds chirping. This is my favorite tree near my property. It's not my property over there, but I love that tree. We may or may not get a drive-by from the cows on the nearby property. But I want to make a video today about a camera that I've talked about once or twice on this channel. But I don't want to go into like a review. This is not a deep dive. This is not who's this camera for type of situation. This is a simple video about how this camera specifically has made me learn to shoot all over again. Sorta. This camera is also the most film-like experience that I've experienced in a digital camera to date, for a few reasons. We'll touch on that real quick. First of all, it has an OVF instead of an EVF, whereas the X Pro 3 had the EVF all the time and it had the OVF option, but I didn't care for it. This was a genuine rangefinder OVF, so that automatically makes me feel like I'm shooting film. Secondly, it does not do great in aperture priority, in my opinion, and I have found over the years with mirrorless technology being what it is that I find myself kicking over to aperture priority and then just adjusting with exposure compensation for the look that I want of the image and not really paying much attention any longer to my shutter speed. And that's been great for years, but I forgot, sad to say, how much control the shutter speed has on the overall image when it's intentional. So this camera has made me stop and rethink the exposure triangle and how it works, how it correlates to the final image, and that's been fun, honestly. And it was a refreshing course, or a crash course, I guess, that I needed. I do shoot film, as I've mentioned, and I do love that process, but even in those situations, I tend to lean toward cameras with aperture priority, light meters built in. Don't get me wrong, I do have fake cameras that don't, but like those are my favorites. Those are the cameras I lean toward. Those are the ones I pick up the first. My Mamiya 7 is my go-to for film, and if not that, then it's my Nikon F4 or my Nikon F3, both with aperture priority. I love the control of the focus, but I love the camera just getting out of my way and just letting me do my thing. This camera has gotten my way a lot. It has tripped me up more than I expected. And obviously we're talking about the camera around my neck today, the M10 Monochrom. This is with the 50 Summicron F2. Both pieces I got from my good friend Greg. And as always, I'm rocking the Camera Gear strap. This is my favorite strap. We're going to talk about the strap though. So why does this camera make me think this way? First of all, this is a camera, and Greg told me this when I bought it from him, that you cannot overexpose. If you lose the highlight detail in this camera, if you overexpose the highlights of the sky, they're just gone. And he was not kidding. So I always catch myself overexposing at least, was it 0.03 into the negative, typically closer to a stop, just because there's so much latitude in the shadows. The dynamic range is great, but once the shadows are gone, they are never coming back. So if you ever thought about picking up this camera, keep that in mind. In this calendar year, 2024, I've really gotten this new passion, this new love for motion in my work. So learning that, exposure triangle again has helped me use that effectively with not just throwing, a low shutter speed on and hoping for the best. Like I'm calculating again, like why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I feel like my work's felt more intentional overall. And I just love this thing. It is my favorite camera I've ever owned. it is the only camera ever that I've had for this amount of time, which is a couple months at this point of making this video, that I have not at least considered selling for something else. Whether that's just in passing or whether that's just, a fruitful thought, I've not considered it once. Jordy and I were speaking last week, and he had asked me in passing, he's like, all right, how many times have you considered selling it, knowing what it's worth and knowing what you could get with the sale of that equipment? And it was really refreshing and quick to respond, not once. And that's new for me, and I'm grateful for that. This is not a camera, though, that I use for work. This is my camera. This is my go-to camera. This is my family's going out to get groceries camera. This is we're going to have dinner. This is I'm on my way to work. This is the camera that I take for me everywhere I go. I had a photo shoot today. I took it with me and never left the car. I left it in my bag, in my second bag, in the Jeep. I didn't bring it out for work, professional, paid work. I'm not saying I couldn't. It's absolutely capable, but I don't use black and white, and I like to give myself the option of delivering in color if need be. Obviously, that just makes sense. One day, someone will hire me to shoot an entire black and white session, and this will be the only tool I bring. I don't know when. Maybe I have to do that for free, but that is coming somehow, somewhere. So this is really just a quick refresher over how I like to set this camera up. The only time that I use anything in automatic is sometimes I'll let the ISO just live in auto mode. That way I'm only worried about shutter speed and aperture, because I do feel like the dynamic range of this camera is good, and there's enough dynamic range even in higher ISOs that I don't have to think about that much, and that's nice. But obviously, like, if it's a bright day, like, I'm not just gonna leave it on auto and let it run at 800 and just be controlling the scene that much. I want to dial it back into 160, which is the lowest ISO of this camera, and then I will adjust my shutter speed and aperture for the look and the moment that I want. So why do I love this camera so much? Why has it made me shoot the way I do? Lots of reasons. I think mostly it's simple. It is no flip up screen, no bells and whistles, no EVF. The OVF, like I mentioned earlier, is beautiful. I just really enjoy seeing the world in black and white. I shoot all of my cameras in black and white typically. I don't use film sims very, very much. I am dabbling with that a little bit right now. So both of my Fuji cameras have a film simulation dialed in just in JPEGs. I'm saving to a separate card just to kind of see if I can find one that I enjoy. I did find one that I like, but I don't know if I would be comfortable shooting in that only, if that makes sense. I know some people can, and that's awesome. And if this was my personal camera, I could do that and get away with it, and that'd be fine, but I don't think that I will ever do that for paid work. I mean, you see these cameras a lot, obviously, in the street, as far as street photographers go, because black and white is such a prominent, choice for street photographers, and I love that, honestly. Like, it's partly why I like it, and I like that it's black and white, because then I have less distractions with color. I don't avoid taking a photo because there's a distracting color in it that otherwise I might take because of the texture I like or the scene itself, and that's been very, very cool. But I think that's also helped me grow overall, because when I go back to my Fuji cameras, I am more selective, and I feel like that makes me shoot less, but it helps me slow down and be happier with the final results that I deliver to my client. Man, the more I sit here, the more I think I should just make all my videos outside. This is so nice. I love my office, and I put a lot of time and effort in that space, but this is something else. I mean, the birds, might rain though, but it'll be all right. Me and Bay, M10. I hope that if you're seeing this and you're new to photography, that you take the time to learn the exposure triangle. I hope that you understand how they correlate and how they work together to create certain looks. This camera has reminded me of why that's fun and why that's important and why I should be in control of that the majority of the time. And that's been fun, because I have been spoiled by shooting mirrorless for so long that I've just gotten lazy. Maybe that's the best way to put it. But that's it for today. The Leica M10 taught me how to shoot again, and hopefully if you own one, you have similar sentiments. But I think this might be the case for any monochrome camera that Leica's ever made. Let me know if you've got one. If you want one, let me know if you've ever considered buying one. I had a very long conversation with someone, Robert, that how I would never just buy a monochrome camera. It just doesn't make sense. And now that I have one, I will never sell it. Okay, bye. Hope this worked today. This is nice, though. On the shirt. This whiskey does help, y'all. Whiskey helps. Alright, back to work. So much to do. Who's texting me? Wes is texting me. No, Jordy's texting me. This is who I am as a person. Yes. Alright, gotta go. This one's a thinker. Ooh, don't get old. Everything hurts. Everything creaks and cracks as you get up.